I see people asking for Flux all day, every day, and the sad fact is, in the time it takes you to hope, ask, get, load server, operate confounded trading post, cancel transaction several times while on accident, and accept free Flux you didn't earn, you can make 10k Flux or more. There is no less, unless you're doing it wrong. This video will cover several ways, but there are more ways than one video can discuss. One thing that applies to almost all of the ways is getting your marketplace slots open. Once you achieve this, you'll need qubits or credits. I strongly discourage anyone from using credits on any purchase that can be made with qubits. Qubits are collected when filling your daily star bar by completing dungeons or shadow towers, and also occasionally given from mastery. Resources. Keep in mind that as time moves forward and new elements are added to gameplay, that those with the most Flux will be out to buy any resources demanded in the newest parts of gameplay. Those with very high mastery will aim their Flux fortune at this end. The more demand, the more to make. The best way to make the most Flux is to aim your progression at getting faster at farming these kinds of materials. Especially lucrative on Gathering Day, stocking your marketplace with materials sales is a surefire way to make some good Flux. The best class, hands down for collecting, is the Neon Ninja. Building this class toward high movement speed is a valuable asset for this method of Flux grinding. When using the Neon Ninja to collect anything that happens in clusters like sunlight bulbs on flowers or clusters of glims, it's most effective to repeat his first slash attack rather than holding the attack button. Another very important thing is to buy a turtle tank from the marketplace. When it comes to mining, this is key. It might not be a huge blast radius, but is more effective than spending the Flux you're trying to make on bombs. The next best mount to have for collecting is Fortress, but don't plan to see that for another 1.3 mil Flux. Still worth the investment. Also keep an eye out, 013 prizes are often the turtle tank. Grass, mushrooms, sunlight bulbs, ores, all these things can be and are sold on the marketplace several times a day. Place what you've collected in your marketplace slot here and cursor select it. This gives you a groovy little tool for seeing all kinds of current info on the item's marketplace value, all of which are determined by the player, i.e. demand divided by supply times patience for collecting. If people don't like to collect it, its value will increase. Never go with the lowest current price. Instead, search the item in the Buy tab in your marketplace. Make sure to sort by unit, always. Go through this list and make your price judgment, keeping in mind that all the low prices are going to sell at some point, and your price will sell soon after, if not before, if you observe the next detail. Never sell in bulk. Just resell higher prices in smaller doses. Since the total price will be lower than the large amount at a lower price per unit, you can make a sale when a buyer doesn't have enough Flux to save money on a bulk purchase. And patience on the buyer's side is your friend. Remember, when asking for more for the same materials, that the schmuck who bought the sale is likely the same guy begging for Flux rather than grinding it like you. Use this method in any resource and it will make you Flux no matter what. However, there are also other things to consider when it comes to collecting. Getting a group together, especially easy on Gathering Day, can be monstrously helpful when it comes to keeping your sales going. The more you have sales to switch out with this crazy awesome new resale with the X button feature, the more Flux you make. The giant flower in 013 here tells you how to most effectively team grind sunlight bulbs. Read and understand this and ask us if we'd like to bulb with you. We can pump out some crazy numbers with this strategy. O13 will have more team strategy guides implemented in the future that will also greatly help for flux grinding. A good example of this would be the Forbidden Giving Tree Challenge. The club will host a chat channel on Collection Day for announcing that a member has found a Forbidden Giving Tree. Everyone who wants to take part will drop a dot in the channel after Finder says found. Finder gets a Giving Tree point toward winning the Giving Tree Challenge and waits for all other attending members to arrive. End quote. A cache of a lot of resources in the tree itself for everyone. The more who join the channel, the more resources can be potentially found and plundered. The root of the Giving Tree is a rock, under which a bulk amount of glim can be found. Flux is most easily made from glim by buying mounts from the trader NPCs on the boats in the drowned world and reselling them for near 20k a piece. There are more than just one secret cache of goodies in this game, but these are the only ones I currently know of. Don't be shy to fill us in if you know of more. Dragon frags. Once you have enough to build your dragon, depending on your trophy and priorities, the dragon fragments can be looted for some very good flux return. O13 will create a chat channel on Dragon Day for hunting dragons and keeping each other posted on when we found one. A challenge similar to the Forbidden Tree Challenge will also be available. It's also good to note that an opulent fragment is one that will give you a bunch more fragments for looting it. Dragon frag farming is very diverse because of the several different ways you can end up collecting them. A dragon haul will be added to the O13 haul book that will list the method of collection for each. You will be able to use this to decide what you would like to do with your Dragon Day. Always remember the stacking principle. Floral frags are gained through the collection of sunlight bulbs, for example, meaning that not only can you be looting frags for flux, but also gaining sunlight bulbs to sell on the marketplace. Many other types of frags fall under this principle. Shadow towers, especially lucrative on Shadow Day. Collecting shadow caches and building them from shadow shards you've collected will provide you a marketplace sale you can take to the bank. Mucho flux to be made from selling these, or, but much less suggested, the Hearts of Darkness collected from opening them. Neon scrap cases, collected from defeating dungeons in the Neon City and Luminopolis biomes, or rampage bosses, are also a bank-worthy sale. though these can also be used to grind crazy amounts of experience and clubbits by saving a bunch to open at the highest Uber level you can get to at a Luminopolis Plasmium outpost. But I'll cover this subject much more thoroughly in my experience grinding tutorial of the feature. I've saved the best for last. That is until a newer thing comes along. Geode. I felt more than half of you cringe at the word, which is one of the many reasons it's the best. Along with being, as I make this video, the newest element of Trove, which even the most experienced Trovians are still trying to collect for, it is also widely disliked by the Trove community. This might be a frown on the faces of the Tryon team, but at the same time it's a colon-triple-D smile on the chats of Trovians happy with the update and ready to make some serious flux off the poor schmucks who don't want to play but are very much interested in the mastery and items Geode has to offer. Geode. Making flux off Geode works like this. The further you get into developing your tools and Geode farming skills, the more flux you stand to make. For the best results, stay patient about progression until you yourself have no further need of the materials you aim to sell before even starting to make flux from it. O13's Discord will be updated with a more in-depth guide on Geode progression. Here, we'll focus on flux. Once you reach the point that you're ready to start turning a profit, I definitely suggest you at least get Tier 3 savvy before doing so, because the value of Tier 3 resources are pretty wild versus the time it takes to collect them. Obviously, the later tiers you can get to represent the difficulty involved in my earlier statement when it came to the increase of value of any material. Add this to the concept of upgrading your tools, making it massively easier to collect in higher numbers from higher tiers, and it becomes plain why Geode is a recipe for success in the way of flux. With that being said, I aim to grow O13's Geode team in numbers and synchronize as often as possible with other groups for Geode I find, creating a force of crazy profit that literally plows through resources so fast those little fire flowers won't have the time to meet their mark before the team is off to the next fat vein. I've ran with a 9-player squad of T5 savvy Trovians before, and the material turnout I could not believe. This is currently, beyond a shadow of any doubt, the most lucrative thing to do on Trove right now. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope I've helped some save the time of typing how much they need flux in lieu of grinding out more than they ever previously thought possible. If this has been helpful as I imagine, let's all try and get more people into this club so they can access this information and join us in making a killing with every second of gameplay they've got. Until next time, O13, let's make some flux.